and tonight they win the World Series. Marty, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it comes down to one thing. It was a great playoff the whole month of October. It really, really was fun. And the World Series lived up to it. I mean, this was a classic World Series. And I've seen a lot of them. And I've read about even more of them. And this one is right up there, especially this game for, a Game 7 for what it was. Toronto was terrific. Terrific. The whole series. They played great. The Dodgers had the 1 week layoff and they never got the bats going, really. But when it had to happen, it happened. And that one stat, and I've mentioned, Glenn, to you and to Eric, if you out-homer the other team, you generally win. And the Dodgers out-homered Toronto tonight, and they got these clutch home runs to get it done. But I love Toronto. I love what they did. I love the way they play. I love the fans. It was unfortunate that they didn't have the closer, that Jeff Hoffman was shaky the whole playoff for them. And they ended up giving up the home run to Rojas in a ball that he hung in the ninth inning to tie it up. And Will Smith, who is like Posey, he's Posey-like, the way he swings the bat. And he comes up with the home run in the 11th inning to put them ahead 5-4. But I think when I look at the box score of this game, because let's face it, it is Game 7, Toronto left 14 on base. Now, of course, it's 11 innings, but 14 on base. Runners in scoring position, 3 for 17. 3 for 17. And that was the difference for me. I mean, they had it all night long. They had stuff going for them all night long. Ohtani had very little tonight. Dave Roberts, who's been criticized a million times for the way he handles the bullpen, left him in there. For if we text friends and you talk to people during the game, everyone's saying, get him out. And really after one inning, and certainly after 2 innings, and he gave up the 3-run homer to Bichette, which Toronto tried to ride to victory. So Dodger pitching was pieced together after that. I thought Snell threw very well tonight. But the guy is, and I assume he'll be the MVP of the World Series. I haven't seen who got picked yet. But Yamamoto, who comes in for 2 fabulous starts, gets the win, and, of course, gets the win here in this game here. So that's 3 wins in the World Series, I think, for Yamamoto. And that doesn't happen that often. So great World Series, great World Series. Dodgers are outplayed for just about all of it. But when the money was on the line and Toronto had to get a run in that 18-inning game and tonight to hold on to the lead, they couldn't get it done. And that's baseball.
That's baseball. Oh, Marty, you hit on it. I mean, this entire postseason has just been absolutely incredible. You saw everything. I mean, how many times after a game, first time in postseason history, first time in World Series history? I don't know how many of those stats that I saw, but I'll tell you what, there's 2 points I want to make. People, we'll talk about Dave Roberts, right? Everyone says, he's not that good of a manager, but you know what he did the last 2 games? He went with his gut and he threw out Miguel Rojas to go out there to play second base because he believed in the guy. And look at this. The one guy you would never thought would come through in a big moment crushes a hanging off speed, hits it over the left field fence, and next thing you know, there it is. It's tied 4-4, and now we're going into freaking extras. I shouldn't say extras, but the bottom of the ninth. I mean, who would have saw that? And here's another thing. And Marty, you've talked about this, right? Dave Roberts did not trust his bullpen. And to an extent, he still didn't. In Game 7 of the World Series, he went to one reliever, Wroblewski. Yeah. The guy he wasn't in anywhere of where I thought of him coming in as far as the lefty coming out of the pen. But he went to Wroblewski. And then after that, it was the flurry of starters. It was Snell. It was
Sheehan did sneak in.
Oh, yeah,
there.
Sheehan. I forgot. Sheehan did sneak in there.
Well taken. Of the 11 innings that were pitched tonight, the actual bullpen was Wroblewski for an inning in the third.
And then Sheehan. I forgot about Sheehan.
So for 2 1/3 innings of 11 was just the bullpen. And you're right. I forgot. I should have mentioned that. Dodger bullpen was an iceberg with the Titanic coming every single game. And they got away with it, and they won 4 out of 7 and won the World Series, and in Bill Mazeroski-like fashion to get it done. So, it was a great game. I'd say this is probably one of the more tense World Series games I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I really mean that. And, I saw
absolutely.
I was there, not there, but I was aware of the Mazeroski home run, and the Yankees coming back from 3-1 down against the Braves in the 50s, and the Yankees always beating the Dodgers, and game 7s, all this kind of stuff. But this one was a classic game. It had everything.
So the Dodgers win their 9th World Series, 2nd in a row, of course, and absolute dramatic fashion. So, guys, I kind of wanted to go through the game, not necessarily inning by inning, but get your thoughts on some of the key points in the game. I have my scorecard in front of me, but before we do that, my final thoughts. If you think about this, guys, think about the defense that the Dodgers played in Game 6 and Game 7. It won them the World Series.
Yeah,
Hernandez play last night. The play in center field. With the bases loaded. The Rojas play at second base when he got the out at home. I mean, those were not easy plays, and they were made at the time in the game where they absolutely had to be made, or they lose the game. And you have to give the Dodgers a lot of credit, because I think Marty said it right. When the chips were absolutely down, they came through. And that's what makes them a great team. You never, ever, ever could count them out. So anyway, so let's kind of shoot through this. So like you guys talked about, Ohtani was not real sharp, I didn't think. I thought you could tell early, guys, that, the breaking ball wasn't great. Pitching on 3 days rest. He pitched Game 4 on Tuesday, gets Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. I was a little surprised that they started him on 3 days rest, because he's never done that before. In fact, I saw an interesting note, you guys. In the postseason this year, the days between his starts before this one, 10, 12, and 10.
Woo.
Yeah, so he's had, plenty of time in between starts, just the way it kind of worked out. Not tonight. He didn't really look sharp. As Marty pointed out, maybe a little surprised they sent him back out for the 3rd, and then Bichette got to him. But I thought early on, guys, you could just tell that he wasn't quite as sharp as we've seen him, especially with the splitter and the breaking ball.
Yeah. Did you see when he was on the mound? It looked like he was pitching in the 6th inning. He was sweating. You could see it in his face. Yeah.
No. How about the catch by Pages? I mean, just boil down the game to that. When that ball was hit, first of all, Kiki, the outfit, we said this, Eric and Glenn, when we did the preview of the World Series last week, that the Dodger outfield defense was, in the middle, it was okay, but the corners were going to kill you. Balls are going to go in the gap, and Hernandez can't get to a ball and all that. Kiki it looked like Dwight Clark, going back, or Willie Mays. I mean, it looked like there's no chance for Kiki to catch that ball. No chance. And Pages, who will run over anybody, he will do it. He will run over the left fielder, the right fielder, the shortstop. It does not matter. He is the classic, I'm going to get the ball and get out of my way. And he went and got the ball and saved the game. And of the one moment of this game that I'm going to remember, I tell you, because this game was over, and Pages made that incredible catch. It was like the Willie Mays, the Bonds, that picture of Willie and Bobby Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Candlestick? I forget where it was, but the two of them,
right center,
right, were like entwined with each other. Pages saved the game. He saved the game today.
All right, well, Eric, since Marty just jumped ahead to the 9th inning.
There's a lot that happened before that, but I just
that's what we were going to get to.
I keep thinking about that.
Yeah, that was absolutely it. But so Bichette got the big home run. Man, can that guy hit or what? I give him a lot of credit. He and Springer were banged up. And listen, those guys, let's give those two guys credit because in regular season, I don't think they're out there. But terrific players and man, you don't see Bichette a lot because he's in the American League, but he can really hit. He's going to get a lot of money.
What about the future of Bichette? How about his future here? I mean, everyone on the chat, we talk about it. Everyone loves Bichette. We've talked about it. Free agent, got the sprained knee, which of course is going to be okay. But boy, he showed me he can hit. He can handle the bat. And, the year before last, he didn't handle the bat very well. Remember, he had a sort of a bad last year. I mean, I think he led the major league in hits, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a free agent. And if you're thinking Giants, heck, why not? Why not? Wouldn't Bichette fit in nicely for the Giants?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Top of the order guy too, right? Top of the order hitter.
Yeah. No, he's a terrific hitter. I mean, he led the Blue Jays in RBIs.
He did.
94. And he missed, most of the month of September. So not only is he a real good average hitter, but he's a major run producer. So yeah, he's going to get a lot of money from somebody. Maybe it would be the Giants. I don't know, but I mean, he's not an old player at all. I mean, that's a $200 million guy. I don't think there's any question about that. Maybe more.
And it sucked in that first inning, right? We're talking about Bichette. He was at second base. If he didn't have that cranky knee, I think that's a run on the board for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah. Well, you had to put up with that, Yeah. And look, once again, and as we go through this game, Schneider pinch runs for these guys, and he takes his guys out of the game. And of course, you don't think Hoffman's going to give up a home run the ninth inning to tie it up. But here you got Straw in the game again. You got Schneider in the game again.
Isaiah kind of Falefa's in the game again.
Yeah. Falefa pinch ran in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was too early. This is what happened with Art Howe and Jeremy Giambi. And Terrence Long hit the ball, and Jeter made the flip to the plate to get Jeremy. Everyone said, Art, you should have pinch run for Jeremy. And Art says, yeah, I would have if he got the second. And it's tough to pinch run for a guy at first base if it's not the winning run, so to speak. And he took Bichette out of the game early and put Kuiper Marty in to run.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's
you like that?
Absolutely, you got a pinch run from there. You're down 5-4 in the bottom of the ninth inning. He's not going first to third. He's not beating out a throw to second. He's not scoring from second. He's not, I think you got to get him out of there at first base. I think he did the right thing. You hate to do it, but
it bit him again.
Series. I mean,
it bit him in the 18-inning game, and it got him again in this one because he ended up in extra innings. But you're right. Yeah. If you do get a hit, it is first to third, and if you hit a ball off the wall, he's got to score from first. But that was the dilemma they had with Terrence Long in that situation.
The Blue Jays play. I mean, you think about, we're talking about the Dodgers defense, which I think won the game. But you think about the top of the fourth inning when Varsho made the diving play in center field on the sacrifice fly. That would have, if he doesn't catch that, it's 2 runs, and it may go past him. It may be 3 runs, and then Vlad made a nice play at first.
He made 3.
So the Blue Jays, their defense was pretty good too tonight, and it could have been a lot worse.
It was good the whole
later in the game.
Yeah, Jimenez played great. It's another guy. Boy, I love the way this kid plays. But I thought I'm glad you brought up the Varsho one. If he trapped it and caught it on that short hop, we would have had the outfield double play again.
That's true.
We would have. Because nobody.
You were right on that. You were right on that rule, Marty. I was wrong. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm going to say I was incorrect on the rule.
No, but we would have had, but Varsho would have trapped it, and everyone was standing there.
That's true. You're right.
No one, and he could have just thrown it in, get the force at second, and gone to first for the out as well, and it could have been crazy. So Varsho did make a great play.
Yeah.
He did.
Hey, what did you guys think about? And I want both your thoughts on this. What did you guys think about? When the bench is cleared and Jimenez got hit by the pitch? I thought that was sort of on him. I didn't like what he did. And
the second one,
I didn't like it was he tried to stick his hand out on the second one, and then he gets hit on the next pitch, and he's pissed at the pitcher. And I thought that was kind of lame on his part. What did you guys think? Because he clearly, the pitch before he tried, or maybe it was two pitches before, he tried to stick his hand out and get hit, which is fine. You're trying to get on base, do anything. But then when you do get hit and you start barking and you're yelling at the pitcher and the pitcher's like, what are you doing, dude? I thought that was on Jimenez. I thought that was kind of Bush League. What did you guys think?
Well, it was the next pitch.
Yeah.
So the first pitch, you're right. He flicked his hand out to take one for the team, that's good baseball to do that. Why not? It's a number 9 hitter. You might as well get hit to get on base.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Then the next pitch was like worse. I mean, it really was right at him. And, in Jimenez's mind, I would assume at that point, saying, hey, are you really trying to hit me?
Yeah, I understand.
And in the heat, but this is Game 7 of the World Series. In the heat of the moment, I liked it. I liked it. I thought he yelled at. He got Robleski crazy.
He did.
He didn't know what to do. Right, and Muncy grabbed him, and he did one of the Jeremy Affeldt things. Where Mark Gardner had to grab Affeldt and calm him down in the Philly game. In that fifth game when they had the Lincecum incident in Philly, so they calmed Robleski down. But I don't know. I thought Jimenez, it came in real tight to him. It's Game 7. Everyone's uptight. And I like the way the kid plays. I do.
I do too. I do
tried to get hit the second time.
I just don't think you can try to get hit and then not get hit. And then the next pitch does hit you and you make a scene. That doesn't make sense to me.
And it was actually 3.
Yeah,
because the first one, it would Verducci. Rosenthal was talking to John Schneider in the dugout during their intermission, and then he had to tell him, "Hey, hold on one second, I got to see if it hit him," and it didn't hit him. And then the second one is when Jimenez tried to get his hand up there and get hit, and then it was the third one where he got hit. But it was just, and John Schneider was leading the charge coming out of the dugout. I'm like, man, this guy's fired up, and I think a little bit of it too. There's a little frustration. Because Shohei Ohtani was getting those extra minutes. I know there was a lot of talk about that. So I think the frustration level was up there a little bit as far as with John but hey, it made for exciting baseball for the Game 7, last game of the season. And here we go. We got a benches clearing little.
Did you think that Smoltz was in the right spirit to criticize Ohtani for getting a little extra time to warm up after he hit?
Yeah, I mean, and if I was the Blue Jays, I would have been pissed, right? It's like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? But then I thought that
you got special rules for the guy anyway.
Yeah, the television, telecast did a nice job. They had the Mark Carlson, the umpire, explain that, and I wrote it down. What did I say? It's the umpire's discretion. So an umpire has a discretion. Yeah, right. To me, it's like, okay, so they do, they're allowing him to have, if he's, what did they say? If he's the third out on the bases,
right?
He's in the on deck circle, or if he
just hit
the last out as a hitter,
right?
That it's the umpire's discretion to allow him to have more time. Yeah. Well, if you allow him to have more time, he's going to take maximum advantage of that.
Yes.
And he did. And I think that's what Schneider was pissed about. He's like, wait a minute. I mean, we just had a 2-minute break, and he hasn't even thrown his first warm-up pitch. That happened twice. So I can see the complaint, but Marty, you're right. There is it's in the rule books for the umpires to have, some leeway on this.
Hey, that's why he started. Look, there were special rules for this guy. This is why he started the game. Because as a starting pitcher, when Ohtani starts and you take him out of the pitcher's mound, you can keep him in the game. Yeah. If you bring him in relief as a reliever,
2 different people, right?
Yeah. He's a unicorn. Come on, right. We're talking about a unicorn, and they got special rules for him because he's the most outstanding player in baseball, maybe in the history of baseball. So they give him an extra 2 minutes to warm up. Come on, stop it. This is fine. John Smoltz, give it up. I'm sorry.
I disagree. I think it's like if you give him a little extra time to go get his glove and get a drink of water, that's fine. But he was clearly taking advantage of it. To me.
I mean, they were coming back out of commercial break, and he just started warming up. Yeah,
he hadn't even started yet. So the umpires, I get it, but you can't let him. And it happened twice.
Hey,
so
the guy didn't go in the clubhouse and change his uniform and come out.
No, I'm sure
he had to catch his breath.
That's what I'm saying. He's just sitting there resting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Marty, we're not agreeing on anything tonight.